across the country.
Good evening and welcome to the news across the country. APC says Osun is among the 9 states that remit pension accounts. EFCC probes Supreme Court over 10 billion naira loot. Report of the week focuses on the myriads of challenges facing the country on education, economy, and the likes. Akwa Ibom State Court sentenced suspected killer to death by hanging. The National Pension Commission (NPC) has released another data indicating that only 9 states are remitting pensions of workers in Nigeria. A statement by the head of service, Osun State head of service, Dr. Ologboyega Oyebade, indicates that Osun State is one of the states remitting employees and employers' pension contribution. The other states includes Anambra, Benue, Delta, Edo, Ekiti, Federal Capital Territory, Kaduna, Lagos, and Ondo. The leaders of the All Progressives Congress (APC) in Osun State have reaffirmed their support to Governor Adegboyega Ochola and the state chairman of the party, Prince Gboyega Famodun. The leaders, who reaffirmed their support during a press conference held at APC Party Secretariat, described the call by the Osun Progressives members for the restructuring of the party as unacceptable, maintained that they have strong confidence in the leadership of the party under Governor Ochola and Prince Famodun. OSBC News reporter Oluchi Amuda has the details.
The press conference organized by the All Progressives Congress (APC) in Osun State had in attendance leadership of the party from the units, ward level, state chairman of the party, local government chairman, senatorial leaders, women leaders, members of the State House of Assembly, among others. In his address, the state chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Prince Gboyega Famodun, who spoke on the recent protest by the Osun Progressives Stop, a group within the ruling party, alleged that the group's activities are being funded by the Minister of Interior and former governor of the state, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, and have continued to be a clog in the wheel of progress of the APC and Governor Adegboyega Oyetola's administration.
Surprisingly, Aregbesola and supporters actually acted to tap by openly campaigning and subsequently voting against Governor Oyetola in the election, which was part of the reason of the current plight of our party in the state. It was on record that the Interior Minister never took part in any of the governorship campaign, while he is also getting out of the country during the election in order not to take part in such an important election in the state, where he is the highest beneficiary by way of appointment as a minister.
He described the call by the top members for the restructuring of the party through the dissolution of the party executives from the units to the state level as primitive, misplaced, and inconsiderate, especially when the call is coming from those he alleged to have worked against the party during the recently conducted Osun State governorship election. Prince Famodun maintained that the top members lacked the moral competence to call for the restructuring of the party.
Assuming without considering that there are challenges within the party, the protesters and their patron should know that they lack moral right to either suggest or effect and likely solution for the structuring of our party, as it is on record that they massively and collectively work against Governor Oyetola, the APC governorship candidate who just concluded election in line with the series of their threats.
The event climaxed with the endorsement of the leadership of Governor Adegboyega Oyetola and the state APC chairman, Prince Gboyega Famodun, by the leaders of the All Progressives Congress from the units to the state level. Oluchi Amuda, OSBC News.
Nursing mothers have been admonished to always ensure proper breastfeeding for their children to keep their children fit, State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Rafiu Samoto, who gave the charge, noted that the benefits of proper breastfeeding are enormous. Let's now join Oluwatobiloba Odunuga for the details of a day symposium organized by Osun State Primary Health Board to commemorate this year's World Breastfeeding Day.
The World Breastfeeding Week, which is celebrated every year across the world between the 1st of August and 7th of August, was set aside since 1991 as a campaign, which aim is to raise awareness about breastfeeding and its advantages. This year's World Breastfeeding Week 2022 focused on strengthening the capacity of actors that have to protect, promote, and support breastfeeding across the world. To this end, the Osun State Primary Health Care Board organized a day symposium to commemorate the 2022 World Breastfeeding Week with the theme Step Up for Breastfeeding, Educate, and Support, which seeks to involve government, communities, and individuals achieving the global target 2025 to improve maternal, infant, and young child nutrition. Speaking at the event, State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Rafiu Samoto, enjoined nursing mothers who always breastfeed their babies exclusively for the first 6 months, after which they can start giving their babies other solid foods. He noted that it is important for nursing mothers to always breastfeed their babies, as there are lots of benefits in breastfeeding the child.
To breastfeed newborn babies exclusively for the initial period of 6 months, after which they can introduce solid food and water. So it is incumbent on our mothers to take care of their children.
Presenting a paper on the theme of the 2022 World Breastfeeding Week tagged Step Up for Breastfeeding, Educate, and Support, the State Nutrition Officer of the State Primary Health Care Board, Mrs. Rashidat Kupola, noted that there are lots of benefits in child breastfeeding, adding that proper breastfeeding encourages bond between the mother and the child. It prevents child malnutrition and also prevents nursing mothers from breast cancer and ovary cancer, among others. She noted that the 2022 World Breastfeeding Week theme is focused on promoting the importance of breastfeeding, as well as to protect, promote, and support breastfeeding across the world.
The breast milk is a natural milk, and it contains all the nutrients that the baby needs for proper growth and proper brain development.
In their separate remarks, the chairman of the State Primary Health Care Board, Honorable Leke Ogunshola, including the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Health, Mr. Benga Oyebode, Director of Public Health, Dr. Akim Bello, among others, enjoined nursing mothers to always adhere to the procedures of proper breastfeeding, as there are lots of benefits attached to child breastfeeding. Also in their remarks, the Osun State Coordinator for World Health Organization, Ahmed Bello, including State Representative for UNICEF, Mr. Solomon Israel, among others, reiterated their commitment towards achieving the global target 2025, which is to improve maternal, infant, and young child nutrition. In her closing remarks, the Executive Secretary, State Primary Health Care Board, Dr. Bukola Olujide, appreciated the effort of the state government under the leadership of Governor Adegboyega Oyetola and other stakeholders for their unflinching support at all times. The event climaxed with a drama display of proper breastfeeding, among others. Oluwatobiloba Odunuga, reporting for OSBC News.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has launched a probe into the alleged racketeering by Supreme Court Chief Registrar Ahmed Saleh, alleged of gobbling up over 10 billion naira bribes from court contractors and other persons who have criminal cases with the judiciary. The probe was prompted by a tip-off from a whistleblower who petitioned EFCC to look into the activities of Mr. Saleh, accused of feeding fat on the court's funds and leaving vital projects to suffer neglect. Mr. Saleh had earlier been accused of conniving with Surajo Mohammed, the son of the immediate past Chief Justice of Nigeria, Mohammed Tanko, to embezzle public funds. Citing instances of the brazen underhand dealings, the petition said those sold off the residence of a Supreme Court justice without the knowledge of Mr. Tanko, who was CJN at the time. However, the building was demolished before the situation could be remedied, rendering the justice who should have been assigned the residence homeless. Mr. Saleh, not a stranger to fraud allegations, was charged with diverting 2.2 billion naira in 2017, a matter later withdrawn by the Attorney General of the Federation on a plea bargain. This is the news across the country, coming to you from Osun State Broadcasting Corporation. Ilawi Okebalo should be voice of the West. Now, our midness message. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. There is no doubting the fact that the country is facing myriads of challenges in its education, economy, and security department. Despite the challenges, President Muhammadu Buhari procured 10 SUV of 2021 model for Nigeria Republic to beef up security. Now, how are Nigerians reacting to the step taken by the president? This is the focus of Said Adeboje, who spoke with a cross-section of society for Report of the Week.
The daunting challenges facing the country called Nigeria are on daily basis on front pages of the dailies. To say the obvious part, the country is not enjoying better days in the areas of economy, security, and education. Almost on daily basis, terrorists and bandits strike, either obtaining ransom from the family of their victims or killing them. The recent attack on our community is still fresh in the memory of an average citizen, as everyone who visited the scene of the attack shed tears. In another development, the naira has fell in its purchasing power as inflation now ravaged the country due to the industries moving away from the country as a result of epileptic power supply and hike in price of diesel and industrial gas. Students of the Nigerian public universities are at home as a result of industrial action embarked upon by the Association of Teaching Staff of Universities. But recently, President Muhammadu Buhari approved the sum of 1,145 million naira for the purchase of vehicles for Niger Republic. However, the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Ms. Zainab Ahmed, argued that Nigeria has a policy of assisting its neighbors to strengthen capacity due to deal with insecurity. But the question begging for an answer is that, is it now that Nigeria is faced with relative challenges that it should assist its neighbors who are not facing a quarter of what it is facing? Responding, the financial expert, Mr. Tajuddin Adeola, described as unfortunate the step taken to have purchased vehicles for Niger Republic now that the country is trying to survive. According to Mr. Adeola, the federal government should have better find ways of cushioning the effect of poverty, trade from bandits and terrorists, rather than spending so much gas resources on another nation.
Let's stop pretending. We are doing a rail line from Nigeria to Maradi. That's a malady to me. We are going to Maradi to invest Nigeria's money. Oil and gas and stuff, we are investing it in Nigeria. We are not doing that here. Nigeria will have a refinery ready to serve even Nigerian people. We can't do that here. They know what to do. They are doing what suits them. And so if we are pretending, before election, we had a lot of people that even came from Nigeria to campaign in Nigeria. So are we deceiving ourselves? Some people have a second country. It's only a few of us that say this is the only country we have. Those who have dual nationality are playing it to our faces, and we are just wondering. That's why the question of restructuring Nigeria must be on the front burner.
Speaking in the same vein, a public affairs analyst, Mr. Dayo Otebolaku, explained that if truly the federal government is poised at fighting insecurity, the president should have procured vehicles installed with security gadgets and not luxury gadgets like the ones bought for Niger Republic.
They bought 2022 SUVs. And you said to fight insecurity. Does that look like a armored personnel carrier? Or does it look like war armaments? As to now adduce the reason they adduced, which is insecurity, to help them fight security. So you are buying them Land Cruiser 2022 to fight insecurity, installed with luxury gadgets, not security gadgets. It's unfortunate to him.
The door of Mr. Tajuddin Adeola and Dayo Otebolaku called on the National Assembly to guard against future occurrence of such action taken by Mr. President, just as they appealed to the federal government to consider moves that will save Nigeria from its present challenges. For OSBC Report of the Week, this is Said Adeboje reporting.
A stakeholder in the education sector, Mr. Sunday Ekundayo, has called on all other stakeholders and leaders of thought to prevail on the federal government to address the lingering industrial action by the Academic Staff Union of Nigerian Universities, ASU. Mr. Ekundayo made a call in Osogbo while speaking with OSBC News on the strike action of ASU, which continues unabated. According to the educationist, the more the federal government responses speedily agitation of Academic Staff Union of Nigerian Universities, the better for the country's educational sector. He noted that the federal government and ASU representatives should go back to the drawing board and provide lasting solution to the lingering industrial action embarked upon by ASU. He speaks further.
I'm using this medium to appeal to the federal government to dance to the tune of ASU, in the sense that what they are demanding for are not for their own sake, for the sake of these young ones. How can some students, for instance science students, pass through universities and they do not know much about some practicals? It is not ideal. Somebody who reads say chemistry or biology and he or she doesn't know much about practicals, it is not ideal and it is not normal. So I'm using this medium to appeal to federal government to dance to the tune of ASU. They are not fighting because of their salaries. Some of them, with the talking amount that they receive, they are still okay. I'm pleading seriously with federal government. Government should consider all these things and that's to the tune of ASU, and they should allow these young ones to go back to their various universities on time. We need to study is essentially lost. You know, some of these students, some of them are supposed to marry on time, but with the state of things, they can't do that. For a very long time, even a minister of Nigeria, I've never had the issue of a strike like this. So I'm pleading with federal government. It's the money that they are wasting on policies too much. If education is expensive, one should try ignorance. They should value education because these young ones are leaders of tomorrow.
Mr. Sunday Kundayo speaking there. A court in the United Kingdom today adjourned the case involving the former Deputy Senate President, Honorable Ike Ekweremadu, till the 31st of October 2022. Information has it that Honorable Ekweremadu will be remanded in custody till the next adjourned date. Honorable Ekweremadu is a lawmaker representing Enugu West Central District, and his wife Beatrice are facing allegations of organ harvesting. A federal high court in Abuja has struck out a charge filed against the director of protocol in the Ministry of Power Works, announcing Mr. Mekudi Aruna. Mr. Aruna was accused in the charge filed in the name of the Federal Capital Republic of Nigeria by the Immigration Service of engaging in forgery and international passport racketeering. On his arraignment in 2019 before Justice Taiwo, Aruna pleaded not guilty to the 3-count charge bordering on conspiracy, making false statement for the purpose of procuring Nigerian passport and engaging in forgery. The prosecution was represented by Colin Sobilo, who claimed that Aruna forged the official identity card of his ministry and signature of the minister on a letter he issued to a friend, Abubakar Mustafa Bida, for whom he procured an official passport after collecting 250,000 naira from him. However, in a ruling on the 5th of March 2020, Justice Sawo struck out the charge for want of diligent prosecution. An Iyaganku Magistrate Court in Ibadan, Oyo State, today ordered that an unemployed man, Mr. Kunduz Tijani, be remanded in a corrections center for alleged armed robbery. The police charged Tijani, whose residential address was not provided, with conspiracy, armed robbery, housebreaking, and theft. The magistrate, Mrs. Osho, did not take the plea of Tijani for want in jurisdiction. She directed the police to return the case file to the Director of Public Prosecutions for legal advice. Magistrate Osho adjourned the case to the 10th of October for mention. 3 buildings have been gutted by fire at various locations in Awka, Anambra State. Report says the students' hostel, a nightclub facility, and a storage residential building were reportedly razed at different times in the area. Information has it that no life was lost in the 3 incidents where goods worth millions of naira were destroyed by ravaging inferno. The cause of fire at the hostel and the club were attributed to power surge, while the story building was due to poor management of cooking gas that resulted to gas cylinder explosion. Confirming the incident, the State Fire Service engineer Martin Agbili said his men were on ground to battle the inferno following distressed calls. In the meantime, there was confusion in Akwa Ibom State High Court as Mr. Uduaka Akpan, the first accused in the murder of an Akwa Ibom job seeker, Ms. Inosiong Imore, was sentenced to death by hanging. Information has it that Mr. Akpan attempted to escape shortly after the sentence was pronounced on him by the trial judge, Justice Basi Nkanang, today. Report has it that It took the intervention of the police to foil the attempted escape. The convict was sentenced to death by hanging and life imprisonment in the 2 charges of murder and case preferred against him. However, the court discharged and acquitted his father, Frank Appan, and sister, Hawan Bassey, second and third accused, who were standing trial for accessory after the fact to murder. Similarly, a 17-year-old student of a grammar school of a local government area of Kwara State, identified as Adegoke Adeyemi, has committed suicide following alleged failure to pass the promotion examination from SS1 to SS2. Place Public Relations Officer of the Kwara Command, Kasami Ajayi, in a statement in Ilorin, said the senior secondary school student was asked to repeat the class but was ashamed and took his life. A team of policemen from the divisional headquarters was swiftly drafted to the scene and removed the corpse of the deceased from a tree behind Aria Garden Hotel, Ofa. Now to sports. Bayelsa United, Eyimba FC and Rangers International have been eliminated from the Federation Cup. Adeyemi Abodoni Asmo on Sports Updates.
Federation Cup holders Bayelsa United and former champions Rangers International have been sent packing from this year's ITO competition in the round of 32. Two-time CAF Champions League winners Eyimba Football Club of Aba and CAF Confederation Cup aspirant Remo Stars of Shagamu were also victims, as a good number of the 16 matches played on Wednesday threw up interesting results. Champions Bayelsa United and Green Beret ended it goalless at the University of Nigeria Enugu campus, but went ahead to win 5-4 on penalties. Enugu Rangers were leading Atlant Football Club of Owerri at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium in Benin City, but the Imo State champions drew level and then went ahead to win 8-7 on penalties. Eyimba and Niger Tornadoes failed to find the net over 90 minutes in Ijebu-Ode before penalty shootout came to rescue, and Niger Tornadoes smiled home 6-5 winners to reach the round of 16. Meanwhile, the management of Nigeria National League has confirmed that Joy Comet Football Club will be readmitted and participate in the second tier league. Joy Comet had petitioned the decision of the NNL to exclude the club from the current season at the end of last season. However, the Nigerian Football Federation Organizing Committee, in a letter to the NNL, upturned the decision and ordered that Joy Comet be reinstated. In the meantime, the main organizing committee and local organizing committee of the maiden Taiwo Ogunjobi Memorial Cup have embarked on an inspection of facilities earmarked for the tourney, which comes up this month. The high-power delegation led by Ondo State Football Association Board, Otumba Dele Ajayi, visited proposed match venues, medical facilities and hotels in Oshogbo. Speaking after the visit, co-chairman main organizing committee Otumba Dele Ajayi was optimistic of a memorable tourney. The football tournament will hold in Oshogbo as from the 16th of this month through the 21st. Super Eagles attacker Ademola Lookman has penned a 4-year contract with Italian Serie A giant Atalanta. The transfer deal was made after the former Leicester City star passed his medicals and a fee of 15 million euros agreed by Atalanta and his parent club RB Leipzig. He signed a contract that will keep him at the club till 2026 with an option of extension. The Nigerian Professional Football League champions Rivers United has confirmed that their midfielder Nelson Okwa has joined Tanzanian side Simba Sport Club. He signed a 2-year deal with the new club. Nelson played an important role as Rivers United won the 2021-2022 MPFL season, their first ever league title. Sport Update returns tomorrow. My name is Adeyemi Abodoni.
To end the news across the country, here again at the main point. The National Pension Commission (NPC) has released another data indicating that only 9 states are remitting pensions of workers in Nigeria. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has launched a probe into the alleged racketeering by Supreme Court Chief Registrar Ahmed Saleh, said to have gobbled up over 10 billion naira in bribes from court contractors and other persons with criminal cases for the judiciary. Report of the way focused on the myriads of challenges facing the country on education, economy, and security. There are confusion in Akwa Ibom State High Court as Mr. Odak Akpan, the first accused in the murder of an Akwa Ibom job seeker, Miss Inubiong Imoren, was sentenced to death by hanging. That was the news across the country, edited by Olushola Egbodofo. For more about us, you can visit www.osbcng.org. Thanks for listening. Good evening.